Hey YouTube, today I wanted to take a look at what kind of a different fine edge you can get from the different kinds of Arkansas available. So for those of you who don't know, the Arkansas grit range is based on density. The coarseness is the Washita, which isn't used as commonly today, but this is the what's known as the soft Arkansas. This is fairly porous. It has pretty good It has good removal of material rate when you're not reprofiling a knife and you're not dealing with like a super steel. So for me, these knives are just 420, and I have sharpened them all already with this grit and with this stone, but I used them a little bit, and so I know that they're not really perfect, but they're not going to need that much work. They just kind of need to be touched up basically. So I wanted to go ahead and just kind of show you a little bit of the process. So Lansky supplies this bottle of oil with all the products that they sell, and Arkansas stones need to be oiled. I find this stuff to be very good at cleaning ceramics. I even cleaned out like one of my leather strops with a toothbrush and this stuff, and it just, took everything out of it. But you just rub this on here onto your natural stone, and then I have a rag that is designated for cleaning stones. And then you just go ahead and set your angle and get to work. Start at one end of the stone and just scrape down here. And then I try to stop with the point near to the end. I'm going to look at the opposite side for my edge bevel. So if you see this opposite side here, it looks like it might be pretty good. Check for your burr. I'm not feeling anything too noticeable. I feel something that's slight, but I just want to make absolutely sure that this is as thin at the edge as this stone can get it. So this has some tooth to it. You can hear it grinding. It's pretty nice. I like it. It's pretty therapeutic. I'm not worried about it chipping up my edge or anything like a really coarse diamond stone. So I exaggerate the angle very steep on a very sensitive part of my hand when I look for a burr. So down here at the right angle, you're not going to feel it very well. Really steep like this, just the tiniest touch, and you're going to know. This side like that feels glass smooth. This side over here, it's catching. So there you go. Now switch sides. Okay, now I'm pushing away. It doesn't take very long to restore a dull but correct angle. So that feels like a burr there. So now you have a burr on each side. Great. But, well, if you're wondering why your knife not be very sharp at this point, so for example, I will go ahead and take out this phone book paper. Without straightening the burr, you're going to have no edge on here at all. But your edge is, it's thin, it's sharp, it's just not pointing the right way. So, one of the most common mistakes in sharpening is you just make sure that with any grit you do, even if it's coarse, you have a straight edge. So what I do when I burr over on both sides, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that, just whatever you grow comfortable with over time. You see all the silver, the wire edge coming down here. Behind every cloud and every sharp knife, there is a silver lining. Alright, and then same thing on here, just kind of a 1, 2, maybe 3 instead of 5, because it's already kind of pointed the right way. And then you just continue feeling very, very meticulously. There's a tiny bit right there. Lighter than the weight of the blade. Just, you know, just like that. That's all you gotta do. There you go. Alright, now I bent it over to the other side. Same thing, just be patient. Your will for the knife to be sharp does not make it sharp. Just wishing it was done does not make it done. Alright, so there's no strop. There's no nothing. It's just the coarse stone that's slightly straight. Oh look. Oh, son of a gun. You've got an edge on there. Alright, so there we have the soft Arkansas only. No hard Arkansas, no black Arkansas, no stropping. Now I'm going to go ahead and strop it and see what kind of an edge we can produce with a 1 micron strop and the supposedly coarsest of the Arkansas I have. So here I have my 1 micron diamond strop paste. Now with this stuff, what'll happen if you put too much of it on there, where you see a layer, it'll just smear off and it'll bunch off and it'll be terrible. So all you want to do is have such a minute amount with this particular kind that it can't move. So if you're smearing it with your finger and it's going somewhere, that's actually too much, because the knife is going to be able to do that. And this will turn black very quickly. You would be amazed at how, you know, quickly this will work. So you can see there the surface, and that small of an amount, I have found less is more with this stuff, and which means that this tiny little thing will probably last me until I don't even know. We'll find out. Now, with the stropping system, you're going to start at the end of the strop closest to you and work away from you. I usually count about 20 or so on each side to start off. Now before you do this, you have to straighten your edge. So if your edge is scratching your strop at all, if you see any drag on it, just do that one light coarse on your stone you were using, or your one light stroke, not coarse, on that stone you were using, very, very lightly, to get that edge straight. Now your strop can start polishing that edge, because it's not strong enough to straighten an edge. Oh, the strop is for deburring the knife. No, leather is not as strong as steel. Like if you have it to the point where you can feel it on your finger and you rub it on leather, it's just going to scrape it until you have nothing left. And I've done it before. Worn out a strop, trying to straighten that edge. Just use the stone. Alright, so you see here how that is starting to gather in the middle? That's not that bad, but when you have a ton of it, it changes the, I guess, elevation. Alright, so now I'm going to do, I've done 20 on each side. Probably did a lot more because I was talking. I'll do 10 to try to straighten that side. Cut it in half again, do 5. And then I usually do like a 3. And then a series of 1. Well, when I do it by hand, it's a lot faster. Usually on the Lansky, I'm not as patient. So when I'm exaggerating this to both sides extremely, there's about an equal amount of texture that I feel, which shows me, yes, it's a coarse stone. Yes, there's probably still a slight burr on the very edge of it that I'm grabbing, but it's not aggressive. So I'm going to go ahead, test this on a piece of paper. Now this is the coarse. You do not need the finest of the fine to get a decent edge. You don't need a 10 million grit stone. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and run the microscope over this so we can see what the soft Arkansas edge looks like. Here's a little look at the scratch pattern on the edge. Alright, let's take a look at the edge without any stropping at all. This is just sharpening. It doesn't feel a lot finer than the other stone, but it feel a little smoother as it cuts, I would say. So still fairly coarse edge. Not nearly as bad as like a coarse diamond stone or anything. It's not. It's a semi-polish, like my 1200 grit DMT. It's like a hazy polish. So it has good bite to it, good tooth, like you saw on the flat of the paper test. All right, let's try out and see what the black Arkansas looks like. Lastly, we're ready for the black Arkansas. It sounds and feels pretty fine. So now I have sharpened and stropped this knife with the black Arkansas, and let's see. I don't think there's really a huge difference between the two. It still is also a fine edge. It also is sharp. It also, right there, it's stopping on the hair just fine. Let's look at it under the microscope. So these scratches seem to be pretty tame. I'm willing to bet if I took a lot of time and really perfected the use of that stone, got it really broken in, it would probably be finer than the hard Arkansas. You can tell the 1 micron strop isn't removing those scratches, it's just kind of polishing over the top of them. And my question is this, and if you're an experienced user, let me know, but are these scratches from the coarse or the fine, and that I still need to take the time to polish and remove them with the black Arkansas? I did take quite a while between each video, polishing with the black to see, how it would do. Thanks for watching today's video. Stay tuned for future sharpening and testing.